The Father's House. Dear friends, in the Gospel of today, taken from John chapter 2, verses 13 to 35, Jesus says, "Do not make my Father's house a house of trade." For the Jews, the temple was the place of divine presence, the Father's house. Right through the Old Testament, we read how the divine presence was experienced by them. God appears to Moses in the burning bush. God accompanies them during the Exodus as cloud by day and as fire by night. The tent of meeting made by Moses was filled with cloud, signifying God's presence. The Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem was the holiest sign of divine presence, a place of divine encounter and a most sacred place for the Jews. Jesus was angry that this place of divine presence, his Father's house, was turned into a place of trade, a marketplace filled with animals and money changers. Hence, Jesus cleanses the temple and restores his Father's house. The gesture of Jesus was not just a physical gesture, but a prophetic gesture. The prophets often use gestures and strange actions to convey God's message. The meaning of this prophetic gesture was explained by Jesus when the priests asked him, "What signs do you show us for doing these things?" Jesus answered, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up again." Jesus was referring to the temple which is his body. The evangelist says, Jesus is now the divine presence living in the midst of us, and his body is the relocation of the divine presence, the new temple. The Pharisees only understood the outer meaning of the statement and did not grasp the hidden meaning of the word temple. Jesus was referring to his body as the new temple and foretelling the resurrection of his body when he said that he will raise it up again. Jesus' body has become the new temple, the glory of God's presence. It is in Jesus we have access to the Holy of Holies. A new understanding of God's presence is brought by Jesus. Every human body is the abode of divine presence. Christ is all in all, Paul says, Colossians 3, verse 11. Temples are built in a particular place to witness to the fact that all places are holy. Earth is crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. But only he who sees takes off his shoes, the rest sit around it and pluck blackberries. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Jesus was overturning the money changers' tables and driving away the animals meant for the cultic worship of the temple, consisting of burnt offerings and sacrifices. By this, Jesus also established a new type of worship. This is what Jesus told the Samaritan woman. True worshippers will worship the Father not on this mountain or on that, but in spirit and in truth. Therefore, when Christ came into the world, he said, "Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me." Hebrews chapter 10, verse 5. As followers of Jesus, let us learn to respect the divine presence in the world and revere the world as our common home, the Father's house. Let us learn the style of his prayer to pray in the Father's house in spirit and in truth. May God bless you.